Hi all. I am right now in Williamsburg where I came for today's scheduled Trump event. I was planning to be here to be a spectator, and there is some really tragic news on that front. Um, Mr. Gottlieb's, the proprietor, Mr. Gottlieb Sr. passed away this morning, and that's what's happening here right now. In a few minutes, see any of you are here before sharing a little more. There's still some remnants of the planned event and a lot of men milling about here. Here behind me, you can see the barricades. So, for those who have just joined, today was supposed to be a big day of Trump visiting this neighborhood. There is a lot of street traffic to that end, including at Gottlieb's Deli. And this morning, Mr. Gottlieb Sr. passed away. He had pneumonia for the last week and he passed away this morning, so the entire event is off. And it is really, really, really sad to me that Mr. Gottlieb is gone, because I have been visiting that deli for 11, 12 years now, and Mr. Gottlieb has been really iconic. So I was walking now towards the deli. I was kind of in a daze. I met a man and I said that I know, and I said, how sad that Mr. Gottlieb passed, and he said he didn't hear of it. He was completely shocked. And then I ran into Menashe Gottlieb with his wife and daughter, and they were on their way now. They confirmed that their Mr. Gottlieb passed away. How are you? What? I know. Very sad.
Yeah.
He's very, very sad.
He was a nice man.
He was a nice man. Of course I knew him. I was at Gottlieb's all the time.
Was?
Of course I knew Mr. Gottlieb.
Yeah.
Ja, nee. Avada. Yeah. But he's been a little sick for the last year.
He was diagnosed about a year.
Yeah.
A year ago.
But he was okay.
He was okay, yeah. He was okay.
Ish.
But still some smoothie gas.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very sad. So, Mr. I don't even know. I'm so disoriented right now. Gottlieb's was the first place that I went to when I started to do this kind of coming back thing. And I have a really complicated relationship with Mr. Gottlieb. Was very stern with me. He didn't like when I talked about the Hasidic community, and he was also always very welcoming. I was talking to Menashe yesterday, and I said how Gottlieb's is a place where people from everywhere come, and he said, yes, that's what my dad taught me. A few years ago, I hope it's okay I share this, maybe I will. That I learned that Mr. Gottlieb had 2 children who died tragically in a car accident, and he was preparing for that. And I've had such a soft spot for him ever since. His wife is the most darling lady. And it's just like, he's been sick for a while. I've been asking after him because sometimes he's not there. But also, this is like so crazy to be walking towards the restaurant and run into his son and daughter-in-law is there about to go. The funeral is at Dej here in Williamsburg. I guess I'll hang out and wait for it. And like everything is off and everyone is like shocked what's going on. Everything is totally canceled. This like event that everyone was like in these holiday spirits is now completely canceled. And like every like Menashe is in shock. Everyone is like it's a very intense moment. So I guess that's it. There's a lot of, I guess, boys, young men who were planning to take off to hang out in the area that are still milling about, and people were like talking about it. The man who was just coming up to me and talking on camera, off camera, was Meal Mart, the guy from Meal Mart who knows my family really well, knows my dad really well, and he's an older gentleman who was like, well, everyone can go home already. So that's the vibe here right now. So I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit, and I have a tour tomorrow and I have a tour Sunday, and Gottlieb's is gonna be closed in morning, and I am so dependent on Gottlieb. The only time I've gotten negative feedback on my tours were when Gottlieb's was closed and I didn't take my tours there. So I don't know what's going to be up with that. And also, you're not in the video. Also, it's funnily one of the employees who are, who like I wanted to call just to kind of talk to him. Now with Mr. Gottlieb's passing, doesn't even have a cell phone. So I guess I won't see him until they reopen after the Shiva, which is the 7 days of mourning. Yeah, I know, Andy, thank you so much. It is very sad. It's kind of sad when someone who's a fixture in your life for more than a decade passes. Mr. Stasel, who's there at Williamsburg Bagel, he said that every day Mr. Gottlieb comes by for coffee and a bagel. And it hasn't been the last 3 days, so he went to check on him, and he was told that he has pneumonia. So that's the situation right now. Rose says, so sorry to hear this. May his memory be a blessing. Amen. Martine, I really appreciate you're such a kind person. Diane says, hello from Canada. Hello. Hi, Zelda. I'm feeling very teary. This is in general starting to feel, look, there's like, this is not normal, the amount of people who are walking around. Everyone is kind of shocked. Because this was going to be like an enormous moment. Just in this moment, Mr. Gottlieb passed away. Yeah, Baruch Dayan Emma, thank you. Which means that they be a good advocate for us in heaven. What do you think are the odds of Trump coming to the Shiva? I have no idea. I doubt that. I mean, my own guess is that he's not going to come, that nothing is going to come anymore because of how much goes into planning. And he's probably going to move on from New York. He's now in New York. But that's my guess. Just going to walk around a little bit and then I'll end this live. I had such a hard time getting this live started because I rarely do live streams. And I have to download the app to make it work, and blah, it's a whole thing. So I didn't even get to title this live properly, which was supposed to be that Mr. Gottlieb passed away and that the Trump event is canceled. And by Mr. Gottlieb, I mean Mr. Gottlieb Sr. Menashe is the third generation. He's the one who's like running it. Mr. Gottlieb, really in my mind, Mr. Gottlieb was always there. He was always like the primary boss. Mr. Gottlieb Sr. Like I say it, Mr. Gottlieb and Menashe is the second, is the son. Hello. To update you, those who are just now logging in. Hi. So I am in Williamsburg, where I was planning to be because of the planned Trump event today. Trump was supposed to visit Gottlieb's Deli, and just this morning, Mr. Gottlieb Sr. passed away from pneumonia. He's been dealing with health issues. Mr. Gottlieb Sr. was in his 70s, I believe. And while I was walking here on this block, I ran into his son and daughter-in-law, and they confirmed to me they were going to visit now. The late Mr. Gottlieb's wife, they were going to go over to his mom. So the streets here, people are kind of in shell shock as they're this fixture of the community passed away, but also as this moment that Gottlieb's Deli was going to be the center of the story is when, you know, like it's pretty crazy. And you can see there are the lights, like the police lights, been folded down. I saw someone show up on a motorcycle with a Trump hat. I guess he didn't know. A couple of people didn't know, but mostly everyone did. All of this, Roebling was supposed to be blocked off, and there was supposed to be a special press place on Division Avenue. That's what I was told. Last night they were doing stuff in the restaurant. So I don't know, I guess I'm gonna go grab a bite and then I'm gonna hang around a little for the funeral. How are you all doing? You know, yesterday I did a live stream about that. It's been really interesting. I really don't care about politics. I can't tell you how much I don't care about politics. I'm excited that people are excited here about such a big event. But I really am not into politics. But since I covered this event, I had so many, I've never ever had unsubscribes like that. Usually I gain about 100 to 300 subscribers a day, which I did, but I also lost about that many from just that video as people were like unsubscribing. And I'm grateful, so grateful to the people who unsubscribed and didn't feel the need to say that they were. They didn't feel the need to say, I'm unfollowing you, I'm disappointed in you. You know what, if I'm not for you, that's totally fine. You don't need to be mean about it. You don't need to make a big statement to kind of punish, like you don't like what I'm about, that's fine, just unsubscribe. But it kind of gave me, like the stats, gave me such a strong view on how intensely emotionally invested everyone on all spectrums of this issue are. So, thank you all for being on this live. I'm just gonna fill you in one last time, then I'm gonna wrap this up. It's September 19, 2024. We were supposed to have this big monumental Trump visit to Gottlieb's Deli, which was so important to those of us for whom Gottlieb's Deli is a big deal. Like of all the places in the community, Trump wasn't gonna come to some rabbi, it was gonna come to my deli, where I take all of you and where we have the food and we sit together. And it's the best part of my tour because it's the end and we sit together and we talk. And oftentimes Mr. Gottlieb Sr. would listen in. Anyway, this morning, Mr. Gottlieb Sr. passed away. The entire event is off. The funeral is going to be later today. And the entire community is in shell shock. So, you know, in the end of the day, this whole visit was always going to be about the people, for me, the people in this world. And it's now really about the people in this world in a very personal way. And I'm like hoping that, you know, I'm praying for the family as they're grieving and as they lost their patriarch, especially his wife, who's the most darling lady, and I love everyone, but I'm thinking about her. And that's the scoop. All this hoopla is off. And I guess that's the end of this day. Bye, everyone. Thank you all for joining.